The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
CJ Mosley has been put on injured reserve. His Jet season is over. His Jet career could be over as well. We'll talk about that and much more. Boy Green joins us. It's the Jake Asman Show, and it starts right now. Man. This is the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We had Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate everyone who continues to support the show, despite how poor this Jet season has unfortunately gone. And joining us right now in his weekly spot is our guy, Boy Green. Boy Green, happy Friday. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
Yeah, not too shabby, Jake. Always fun coming on. And, yeah, like I said, it's a sad day. It was news that I think some of us saw coming as a possibility, and now it's official. Old CJ Mosley, captain, my captain's placed on IR, and everything that you said in the cold open. His Jets career is likely over, and shoot, his NFL career might just be over too.
You know, when he first suffered the injury and you heard it was a neck injury, you always get concerned because, one, he's an older player at that position. And anytime you hear about a football player dealing with a neck, you just think about all the injuries over the years to big-time players who have had neck issues, and it's a really tough injury to recover from. So I'm not shocked that basically they used the bye week and then last week to get him ready, and he wasn't right. And at this point, with the team 3-9, and CJ Mosley, I'm sure thinking about his long-term health, it makes sense, just to shut him down. I guess technically he's eligible to come off IR for the last game of the season, but they're not going to play him in that game when it's absolutely meaningless. So, look, this guy was an awesome Jet. That's why I'm rocking the CJ Mosley jersey. For those of you who have been with us for a while, CJ came on this show during Super Bowl week this year. He was awesome. And, look, he's someone that if you're a Jet fan and you own the CJ Mosley jersey, and you brought this up, Boy Green, off air, you can always rock the CJ Mosley jersey and wear it proudly. How many Jets over the years have you got the jersey for and you're ashamed to wear it? Unfortunately, there's a couple of them on this current team that we all were excited about, but Mosley's not one of them. Obviously, an awesome guy, awesome leader, great Jet. You just wish the team had more success when he was here because he deserved it.
You said it beautifully right there. I feel the same way. It's crazy to think he spent more time with the Jets than he has with the Baltimore Ravens, where he was synonymous, obviously, as a Baltimore Raven and one of the true leaders. The Ravens have had a lot of great players like Ray Lewis and Bart Scott and so many others for CJ Mosley to continue that tradition. And the way that neck injury happened, he was getting ready for the second Patriots game. Just in the pregame warm-ups, he tweaks or tinges his neck, and all of a sudden he's out. It was losing feeling. Very scary injury. But to your point, the CJ Mosley journey, at first it felt like a classic Jet story. We signed some free agent where we clearly overpay, 5 years, $85 million. We reset the linebacker market by like $3 or $4 million. Quan Alexander, another former Jets legend, held the highest paid linebacker in football title for all of 3 seconds, and CJ Mosley and his agent said, hold my beer, and they went over top of him and signed him. And we remember that first half of that Buffalo game, the pick six where the ball pops right up to Mosley. I'm like, oh, boy, this is going to be a season to remember. Let's roll. And then he hurts his groin. We see him one more game that year. Next year, he opts out COVID. We're like, geez, another, again, a long line of buzz. But shout out to Mosley. After those first 2 years, he was an NFL Ironman. He appeared in 50 of 51 games over that 3-year stretch with the Jets heading into this season. And I don't know if he's going to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There's a lot of awesome linebackers that are waiting to get in, like Luke Kuechly and so many others. Brian Urlacher just got in. There's a bunch of great linebackers. I don't know if he goes into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but shoot, I think he's a Ring of Honor member for the Jets, man. And it's what you said at the back end of your answer. I just feel so bad. If there was something I could control, it's CJ Mosley having more wins. He was a light in the darkness for the Jets. And he always just talked about turning this thing around, and something he embraced coming from Baltimore. That he's going to flip the ship. So, yeah, I feel terrible for CJ, especially since, like I said, it really looks like this could be his way out. He has 1 year left on his deal, but with a new regime coming in, he's 32. He turns 33 in the offseason. The contract, it just sounds like it's over at minimum with the Jets. And like I said, it could very well be his career with the seriousness of this neck.
No doubt. And they saved money by moving off of him. You know, they redid his contract last year. Basically took a pay cut to stay. He didn't want to go anywhere else. And what was an all-in year? I mean, he was an awesome Jet. It's just unfortunate that, once again, the team never had success when he was here. I mean, the best year CJ Mosley had was what? The 2019 season with Gase, and he missed most of that year. That team finished 7-9. You had the 7-10 season last year and the previous year. I mean, 2022, I guess at one point, he was, a second-team All-Pro that season.
Correct.
And they were 7-4. But, yeah, it's tough. He was a really good player, though, good leader, never complained. So many guys come here, big free agent acquisitions, and, the second it doesn't go their way, they want out or they become a malcontent. And he was just a great player, great leader. So it's a shame. And, look, maybe, if he wants to stick around the organization when he's done playing football, he might be done. Maybe he retires after this. We'll see. He's someone I think you'd love to have involved with your organization in some capacity, whether it be, on the – what Mangold and Corbett do with alumni, or, maybe even on a future coaching staff. Who knows?
I mean, he's wicked smart. I mean, he's a guy that could plug and play from that perspective in any phase or level of the organization that he would want to. I welcome him back with open arms. And like I said, I'm looking forward to whatever happens in the future. He's eventually enshrined as a member of the Ring of Honor, because a legendary Jet, awesome Jet, had some of the best linebacker seasons. And we've had a lot of great linebackers in this Jets history. So, yeah, love CJ Mosley, man. And again, hoping and wishing him the best from a health perspective. Because, like I said, necks are scary, and the way he describes it, of losing feeling in certain parts of his body, that's scary stuff, and will make him think twice about his football future.
Now, you look at the other, injuries for this team right now. We know Mosley's likely done as we open the show talking about it. Mm-hmm. But looking at the Jets injury report for this week, Sauce Gardner and Breece Hall, both listed as doubtful. Jeff Ulbrich saying all the other injuries are trending in the right direction. That includes Olu Fashanu, who's dealing with a toe injury. That includes Morgan Moses, who's dealing with a knee and a shoulder. You look at Elijah Vera Tucker. He was limited today after not practicing the last 2 days. So, at least you're going to get some guys that are going to be back, but not having Sauce when you're facing the Dolphins and their receivers, and not having Breece, who at times has single-handedly carried this offense, that's tough. I do not feel good at all about the Jets' chances of winning this game on Sunday. In fact, if I were making a pick, I would lean with the Dolphins not only winning, but easily covering. Your thoughts on this matchup in Miami?
Yeah, I'm a guy who claims to be this most optimistic Jets fan in the world, and we do it on a radio show every Friday where we do all of our NFL picks against the spread, and we pick one game that is your lock, and it's with the spread. And for the first time ever, I picked against the Jets and made it my lock that the Dolphins were going to cover the +6 and beat the Jets. It's unfortunate, and we didn't even know the Breece Hall news, but I had a very strong inkling that he wasn't going to play, and now we get it. Tyreek Hill and Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Jonnu Smith's been going crazy too. So that's another one that hurts you with CJ Mosley out from that perspective, man. We're going to get some Brandon Eccles. We're going to get some Quantez Stiggers. The thing I'm excited about, again, seeing whatever Quan brings to the table, but everyone, we talked about mini Derrick Henry after the Week 2 Titans game, like, oh, Braylon Allen, watch out. And there's been fleeting moments this season where we've got to see him. So forcibly removing Breece Hall from the pile, you have to go with more Braylon. And I'm curious to see if Braylon has another great showing. And it's sort of like Kane and Guanu were like, whoa, okay, this guy, not too shabby. We should get him the ball more. Maybe we'll be saying that about Braylon, but I think a lot of us will then turn around and say, then why haven't we seen him more throughout the season? But I am excited for Braylon to get his shot. He will be a featured weapon, I would imagine, against the Miami Dolphins. And Quantez, who's played like 10, 15 snaps this year on defense, I'm excited for him too.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're talking with Boy Green in this weekly spot. And inspired by Boy Green, we're doing something on this show that I think is really fun for the holiday season.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
All right, here's the thing, right? I have the Garrett Wilson jersey that we're going to be giving away. That's our first epic prize. The fishbowl and the raffle tickets haven't arrived yet, so I'm like a madman in my notes app on my phone, keeping track of who gifted what. But we entered the show at 83 memberships. When we hit 100, that is when we will pick a name who will win the Garrett Wilson jersey. We'll also do a consolation prize. You can get an item from the Jake Asman merch store. Second and third place can do that. So we're giving away some goodies. I want to shout out Terrence and Austrian Jet Fan. They each gifted a membership on not just this channel, though, Boy Green, on yours as well. So, Terrence, Austrian Jet Fan, we thank you for your service. I will figure out right now who got them on mine. Boy Green can tell you who got it on his channel as we simulcast this show across both platforms. Terrence's membership went to NYC2SRQ, who called my first show on the day, and Australian Jet Fans membership went to Daniel Nieves. I keep saying Australian. Austrian Jet Fan went to Daniel Nieves. Boy Green, who got the memberships on your end?
That is Scott Foster 23. Shout out to Terrence for that one. And Salvatore Nocera. He got it from our number one Austrian Jets fan, baby. So amazing. Both of them getting into the membership love and getting in some raffle action. Beautiful.
Austrian Jet Fan, not to be confused with Australian Jet Fan. Unreal. Terrence, thank you again as well. Wow. Okay. It might be one of those shows, Boy Green. I could smell the memberships raining. Rick Kent with a 5-spot of channel membership. Sound the alarm. Here we go. If you hear your name called, courtesy of Rick, you're a channel member. Joel, Sharif Inani, Josh Frischman, Judah, and Juan Suarez. With that, folks, by my math, we are just 10 away from hitting 100. I will do the raffle on the show tomorrow. Buffalo Jet Fans joining me tomorrow morning on the show. We'll do it with him live on the air. Hold on. 9 away. Boy Green just getting it on the gifting. How about that? I got to gift one on his. Listener Triz Nick is the recipient of the membership. So we're just 9 away from the 100 we needed. So we'll get to that hopefully at some point during the show. You know, there's been a lot of talk, Boy Green, about the right coach for this team. I was ecstatic when I was listening to Rich Cimini's Flight Deck podcast, and he mentioned that Mike Vrabel would absolutely consider taking this job. What were your thoughts on that? Because I don't know, where he ranks amongst your preferences, but he's my number one guy.
Yeah, he's my number 2 guy. But either way, we had the same when I heard that on the podcast. I'm like, holy moly, okay. Everyone just said, Bill Belichick, he's going to call him. And I always thought before Rich said anything that I'm like, Vrabel seems like his own man, that he would just say, I guess I'm not getting the Jet job. Like last year, he didn't get any jobs. He didn't get any opportunity from that perspective of, getting a head coaching gig last year. So I thought it was ridiculous that Belichick would give a call and then suddenly he wouldn't be in the conversation. So that seemed wild to me. So then I saw on Twitter, you tweeted out with the Vrabel gif of him going, yeah, baby. It fired me up and it started going viral, Jake. So shout out to you for the tweet on there. And yeah, man, I'm fired up. I'm excited. How could you not be excited about Vrabel, who's a no BS guy? He's been a head coach before. He's taken a shitty-ass Titans team to the AFC Championship game, multiple playoff appearances. I mean, come on, baby. He is an awesome coach, very high on my list. Again, the only criticism, and I'm sure it's the same for you, Jake, is that he's a defensive guy, not an offensive guy. But I do like that he has an eye for talent for picking offensive coordinators, so I'd have trust that he could do it again. But that would probably be the only criticism. Besides that, I love everything else about Vrabel.
Love it. I'm right there with you. And look, he's hired 2 offensive coordinators that became head coaches, disciplinarian, no nonsense. I think the hire has to be someone that comes in and immediately the players feel like, okay, it's been a mess, but we're back on track. And I'm not talking about the rookies or guys in their second year here. I'm talking about a guy like Garrett Wilson, who since he's been here has performed and has seen nothing but dysfunction and losing. I'm talking about a guy like Breece Hall, who basically is in tears after these games because he takes it so hard. I'm talking about a guy like Quinnen Williams, who's been here for years, and all he knows is losing season after season. Like, those are the guys I think you have to inspire with this hire. And Mike Vrabel, to me, inspires everyone in that building on day one.
100%. And I think this is a thing that went terrible in Tennessee. One of the issues that Vrabel had was the loss of power and moves happening beyond his head. Like, he didn't want A.J. Brown traded, yet they traded him anyway, and he was super pissed about it. So I would think at his next opportunity, he's like, I'm not letting my star receiver getting traded. So if Vrabel comes here, Garrett Wilson ain't going nowhere. To make up for the loss of A.J., I hope, is one of the things that come in here. So, yeah, that's something that would help. And, again, a level of credibility, a guy that's done it before. And I think that's part of the process here for the Jets. There's a lot of intriguing candidates, Aaron Glenn's of the world, Ben Johnson's, all these guys, but they've never been a head coach before. So it's a total mystery on whether they can run a building and be the guy. There is none of those questions with Vrabel. You know he can be the guy because he's been the guy.
Absolutely. That's well said. Ladies and gentlemen, do you believe it? It has happened. A 5-spot of channel memberships from our king. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not just King Lowski that got us to the 100 member mark that we needed to do a giveaway. It is the great, who else but Mike D's Nuts.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts. Hey, for another gifted membership. Hey.
How about this from Mike D's Nuts? He goes, I already have the jersey, Jake. Put Bobby's name on my 5. All right, Mike D's Nuts. You got it.
Okay.
Let's do that right now. Let's do, let's see. I'm literally, like, you should see, I'm using the notes app to keep track of this. I have a fishbowl coming with raffle tickets. I'm going to be able to put them in.
Oh, cool.
Supposed to be here today, but I guess not. So, Mike, we will make sure that we put Bobby under yours. That's very nice of you. But all right, here's who got the memberships. And now anyone who gifts going forward will go towards the next 100. But on the air tomorrow, I plan to do the live giveaway for the Garrett Wilson jersey. Our next prize, by the way, another jersey giveaway. We just mentioned him. Quinn Williams, ready to go.
Oh, baby.
So
that's a good one.
And all the jerseys, by the way, are the new jerseys. It's not the old ones. So these, I ordered these specifically for giveaways here. So here we go. Got 10 names to read, and then we'll talk more about coaching candidates here. Mike D's Nuts, his memberships went to Michael Caslin, Frank Whitmire, Black Fry, Ivo DeNicholas, and Vince Milton. King Lowski, his memberships went to Javier Santos, ADR, Chico Andretti, Kyle Medina, and Atlanta Jets fan. The coaching thing I wanted to discuss with you. Mm-hmm. Ben Johnson yesterday, it's leaked out from Albert Breer that he has this very specific list of things he's looking for if he's going to take a job. I'm just going to read you the tweet from U Stadium that basically surmises the report from Breer. Mm-hmm. Ben Johnson, who's the Lions OC, is taking a quote different approach this hiring cycle. He won't chase interviews. If he takes an interview, it will be with the intentions of taking the job. Breer added that Johnson has 2 criterias in the interview process. 1, organizational alignment, in particular between the head coach and GM. 2, recognition from the organization on what went wrong previously and their willingness to fix it. I'm not saying those aren't 2 important things you want if you're a prospective head coaching candidate, but the fact that this guy is basically using the media to leak all this out, and what happened last year where, the Commanders thought he agreed to be their coach, they're on a plane to talk with him, and then he backs out at the last second. Like, this guy better be the next Sean McVay. Otherwise, he is a major douche.
Yeah, that is so eloquently put, Jake. I agree. Now he's put this immense pressure on him. So if he takes this head coaching gig, whatever it is this offseason, he better be a god, instantly walking on water, because this guy has never been a head coach before. There's no guarantee that this guy is going to be this absolute home run. Is he incredibly attractive? Of course. Look at the bag he was getting into on Thursday Night Football, man. I mean, the creativity on the play calling is amazing. He already said in a presser earlier this year, if he was to get a head coaching gig eventually, that he would continue to call plays, which is incredibly exciting for the Jets or any team that would potentially hire him. But he's a big friggin' mystery. Some people are great OCs but terrible head coaches, so you don't know until you get in the the bed with the guy. But it is kind of crazy that this guy has gone to these absolute wild levels here to pull this out. And I think that arrogance is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. They're going to say that he believes he's above the process and he's, all of these arrogant and different things. I think it's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. Again, I'm sure he will still have a lot of jobs of interest to him. It'll be interesting to see who is on the list, because part of that Albert Breer report is he will only interview with teams that he believes he actually wants to be the head coach for. So if it comes out, according to Albert Breer's reporting, he's a great reporter, if it comes out that Ben Johnson's interviewing with the New York Jets, that's a good sign that it's a really legitimate part of the conversation.
Look, I'm all for the Jets interviewing him. If they hired him, I'd be excited they got the top offensive guy for once, as opposed to, the defensive guys out there. But I don't know. If he's not the Jet head coach, I hope this guy's terrible, because the arrogance on this guy who's done nothing. And look, when you become a head coach elsewhere, Ben, you might not have Jared Goff, the best O-line in the league, an elite number 1 wide receiver, an elite running game, an elite tight end at your disposal here. Like, I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong to have this criteria. What rubs me the wrong way is leaking all this out to the media after what happened last year too.
Yeah, that part to me is a way that rubs me the wrong way, because you're right. It happened with the Schefter stuff last year. It's happened throughout this entire season, to be honest with you. This is the first time we've heard about this weird stuff. And Rich Cimini on his podcast described him as quirky, kind of a weird guy. So, again, if he's the head coach, we don't give a shit what his personality is or weird requests or things of that nature. If he only wants green M&Ms in his coach's room, works for me if he could turn things around. But, yeah, if he's a Jets coach, that would be incredibly exciting. If he's not, he will be an interesting watch, because it still feels like this is finally the year that he gets one of those head coaching coveted jobs.
Watch the Jets get him and he sucks.
Oh,
couldn't you see that?
This is the thing that people say, like, Jets were an idiot. They hired Robert Saleh. Everyone said Robert Saleh was like the most coveted guy of that group. McCagnon had a lot of love in his year. Joe Douglas had a lot of love in his year, even though that was obviously weird how they hired him. So to me, the hindsight stuff is bullshit of like, Saleh, he was like the last pickings. A lot of people said that Saleh wouldn't even interview with the Jets because he wouldn't lower himself to that level to even consider us. So, yeah, I mean, it would be wild, and hopefully this time it would finally work, that we get a great guy that perception-wise that actually turns out to be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe what my eyes are telling me. A $100 super chat from Jorge Perez.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
Jorge Perez, shout out to you, my friend. Let's get the 42K ASAP. Here's my humble contribution. Keep up the great work and collaborations. Jorge, I'm making up the rules right here. You get the $100 super chat. Guess what? We're giving you 10 raffle tickets towards the next giveaway. That's well-deserved, my man. Jorge is in, so we only need 90 more memberships to do the giveaway for the Quincy Williams jersey, which I'm doing the Garrett one tomorrow when I get my fishbowl, which sounds very weird to say. And I'll be doing the Quincy one once we get 90 now more memberships. So thank you, Jorge. That's awesome. You're in for 10 in the raffle. Really appreciate it. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll mix in some calls as well. Other than Vrabel, other than Ben Johnson, give me the power ranking, Boy Green, of your top coaching candidates for the Jets.
Again, this is a guy that I don't know why he isn't getting more love as a possibility, but Todd Monken, the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator. He's never been a head coach before, but he's been an offensive coordinator in 6 different stops, and he has won with all kinds of quarterbacks. So you can't just say, Lamar Jackson, good OC. Yeah, pass the Adam Gase with Peyton Manning. Like, he's done it with Stetson Bennett, where he's won national championships. He's done it with Jameis Winston. I mean, he's just done it with so many different versions of quarterbacks. To me, that's incredibly exciting, and he's different than Ben Johnson, who's like this mid to late 30-something-year-old who's this hotshot young kid. This is a guy who's been around the block. He's 20 years the elder of Ben Johnson. And the fact that he's been around and he's never gotten his chance, to me, like I said, that is incredibly interesting as a potential guy. Another one that's in the mix there for me would be, and this one's growing on me, Jake. I don't know how you feel about him, but Aaron Glenn, man, the more I read up on him, about him, the more I hear about him. Albert Breer, another part of his report last night is the Jets will have interest. That seems to make a lot of sense for all the obvious reasons, but to hear that they will actually have interest to actually go through that process is interesting. Rich and Victor Green, one of the greatest Jet safeties of all time, also made a very compelling case to Rich on the podcast about him. But I'm scared of the defensive coordinator rotation whirl again for all the obvious reasons. Woody Johnson's predominantly had defensive coaches as his head coach, which scares the crap out of me. But Aaron, the D'Amico Ryans possible storyline of coming home back to your team. The Jets went with the old rebrand that honors back to the AG days. There's a lot to like about Aaron as a leader and what he's done with that Lions defense. Again, everyone kind of scares me that isn't an offensive guy, but not everyone that's available obviously is going to be an offensive guy. I will tell you the one guy that scares the shit out of me, especially because Rich talked about on his podcast, is dark horse candidate Arthur Smith, man. I mean, I have a short list of guys that make me go, ugh. Arthur Smith, Matt Nagy. I mean, there's a few guys on that list that make me initiate the gag reflex of like, I'm not so sure I want them anywhere near the New York Jets. Those would certainly be two on the list.
That would be depressing, to be totally honest with you, if they hired Matt Nagy or Arthur Smith. Not saying not saying it couldn't work, right?
Sure, maybe.
Yeah. It'd be tough to sell that one. I mean, the universal move that they can make that would get the fan base all in, I think would be Vrabel. I think if they hired Brian Flores, there'd be a lot of people who'd be approving of that. I think Rex, well, there'd be a very loud amount of people who don't like it. I think there would be probably 70% of Jet fans after that first press conference from Rex would be all in, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. I do think, though, they need to hire someone with previous head coaching experience. I like Aaron Glenn. I think in a different cycle, different time for this franchise, he would be someone that we all would love, but they've done the defensive coordinator to head coach for the first time too many times in a row. The only way I'm hiring a coach with a defensive background is if they have had previous head coaching experience like Vrabel or Flores, because then I think it's different.
Yeah, and you make a compelling case. Again, with all the zigging we've been doing, it might be well overdue for a zag. So a Vrabel certainly would make sense. Again, the thing that about Brian Flores you like is he's had success as a head coach, of course, but the relationships with players kind of scares the shit out of me, because if he was terrible, maybe he can learn from it. Again, we're all human beings and we can make mistakes in our life, but we all have, and then we can bounce back and learn from it and maybe be better. And a lot of Vikings people have said that about Flores, that was not their experience, whatever happened with the Tua thing. So hopefully he could turn it around. But, you know, having a toxic relationship with the quarterback isn't great news for the new spot, because whether it's not to us, the whatever media, whatever fan, whatever you guys want to call us, you know, he would have to explain to the Jets what the blank happened with the Tua situation and how will it not happen again. So he has some splaining to do from that perspective.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. All memberships go towards the Gift-a-thon, baby. More raffle tickets for everyone. Boy Green, FPP, gifted a channel membership on your illustrious channel.
Shout out to Mr. Business. You're now a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club and a part of our raffle as well.
There you go. All right. Peter Castro opines that Saleh will never be a head coach again. Probably not. The odds are against him. However, he will be a defensive coordinator almost immediately if he wants to be this offseason.
I think Jeff Ulbrich might be too. Now, again, there's been a lot of shit this year, but whatever job Saleh doesn't get, I imagine Ulbrich could. 49ers, Miami, Minnesota. If Flores pieces out, there's going to be an opening over there.
Detroit?
I mean, you could Detroit, exactly. There's another
Saleh's
one.
From there. I think you would prefer that.
100%. So you get those 4 jobs off the top of my head, and I'm sure there's more that would all have potential openings of swirling around. And how would Ulbrich, who again with the shitty head coaching stuff has been terrible, but as a DC he's proven it, and so is Saleh. I think there's going to be plenty of ops there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Castro says Saleh will never be a head coach again. Boy Green, I want your thoughts on who Peter Castro would prefer as the next head coach of the New York Jets.
We got to get rid of Ulbrich and then go after Gabriel first. Then I want Queensberry. Got to look at the monkey guy. I like Flo names. And maybe Slow Dick in Houston is the answer.
Your thoughts?
The Texans guy, Slowick, he gives me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies too, sort of in the Ben Johnson way of he hasn't been doing it as long, and he seems like again, the offensive guys, I think even Cliff Kingsbury, I think a lot of us would go, well, at least it's offense, and then we could kind of sell ourselves on that. So I guess any offensive guy, maybe we could kind of work our way into it, but overall, there's something especially with how the Houston thing is kind of folded like a used lawn chair after the first year. That stuff kind of gets me a little bit there. So Slowick's up there. Who else did I miss? Who else is on that list? Yes, we got Flores. Yeah, Yolbrick. Yeah, he's going to get a job. Flonase. Yeah, I think that about covers everybody. But yeah, the thing is, we have plenty of time to vet through every potential option on this side of the planet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Peter Castro. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. How about this? The #1 Austrian Jet fan is back with 5 memberships on the Boy Green channel.
Booyah! Dick Chimneys Burner, Orlando Vega, Farouk, Thomas Sturk, and Titan. You are all now members of the Boy Green Coffee Club. And again, more entries into the friggin' raffle giveaway, baby. Thank you, our #1 Austrian Jets fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the memberships are flowing. Hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats. We'll start to get into your calls coming up. Down the stretch here, 5 games to go.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking to see? Are you rooting for wins? Are you rooting for the tank? How do you view these last 5 games as a fan?
Now, I will probably be in the minority here, I'm sure, but when I'm in front of the tube, I don't go, man, Garrett Wilson fumbled the ball or drop that or lose or come on, Rodgers, you got another pick in you. I just can't do it. Maybe some other people can. Maybe it's easier for them. I can't separate it. My emotions are part of the watch, so I will be rooting for touchdowns. I'll be rooting for Aaron Rodgers to go crazy on the Miami Dolphins and make all kinds of plays, but again, to rationalize if they lose, and boy, it looks very likely with all these missing pieces. It's hard to believe. Miami's got a legitimate shot at the playoffs. Jets have shown no signs of life. Multiple times their backs have been against the wall, like Pittsburgh. Oh, okay, they need to show something now. Buffalo, first place on the line. There have been all kinds of motivating factors throughout the season, and they've just dropped the ball over and over again. So to say, oh boy, if you lose, you miss the playoffs, it just doesn't seem like this team overall has the CJ Mosley effect of a backbone and fighting for it, meaning something more. So I believe the Jets are going to lose. But when I'm in front of the TV to the Dolphins this weekend, but when I'm in front of the TV, I will be absolutely rooting for them to be making big plays and things that are happening. But my gut tells me they may not win another game this year, and the only one that they probably have a chance in is Jacksonville. But you don't even know then, because as much as I want to say the Jaguars suck, well, the Jets suck. They've won 1 game in the last 2 months, for Pete's sake. So we have to be honest with ourselves.
No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Asman Show presented today by CustomBourbonTours.com. Book your vacation down on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Custom Bourbon Tours will help you do it. CustomBourbonTours.com. CustomBourbonTours.com. Liam, who is the founder of the company, native New Yorker, lives down there now. Diehard Jet fan. Him and Chad Pennington, oh, by the way, have a very close relationship. That's where Chad lives. So check it out. CustomBourbonTours.com. Book your vacation. If you're a Jet fan, you certainly deserve it. And if you're a bourbon drinker, there's nothing better than the bourbon you'll find on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. CustomBourbonTours.com. All right, Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. That is open. First up on the hotline is Ray. What's up, Ray? Ray? Ladies and gentlemen, the Ray Internet. Ray, let's try again. He called back in. Hello, Ray. Ray? Raymond. I see the thing is spinning.
Yeah. There's some buffering going on there.
Yep, some spin action.
He just muted himself.
Ray? Yeah, this is fortunately not working out. Ray, try another time. Or maybe when you get better cell service. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to more of your calls. Boy Green, I don't know if you saw any of my show the last 2 days, but a lot of the Asmaniacs have been going to war with one another. And this guy has basically been at the forefront of the attacks.
B-Mac. Look at my TV. B-Mac. I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets. Go Jets. Yeah, I'm here. Y'all can't get rid of me. I'm here. Y'all always gonna see this face. This face, haters. Peanut head. Y'all always gonna see this beautiful, handsome, cute face. You know what I mean? But the other thing is, well, first of all, hey guys, it's great to see y'all this afternoon.
And I see you jumping over to the beanie for winter season. I've only seen BMAC hat version, so BMAC beanie version. Very nice. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it is cold here in good old Massachusetts. But I want to say is that first of all, disappointed that my Packers lost in the heartbreaking way, But shout out to the Lions; they are a good team. But we 9-4, we still in the playoff hunt, and I still like our chances going forward if we all stay healthy. And just shout out to the real Lions fans, not the fake ones like Peanut Head, who claims to be a quote unquote Lions fan.
Boy Green, do you know who Peanut Head is?
My guess would be Allen.
Oh, he nailed it.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Boom. Okay.
Yeah, but I do want to say something quick. Boy Green, I did saw your show this morning,
Okay.
and
Thank you.
Peanut Head called in, and I'm not defending Rodgers. We all know, how he's been this year. He's been terrible. He's been, big disappointment. So I'm not. It's not about him per se, but to say that he was disrespecting the Jets when he is the main guy that is disrespectful to to not only to his own team but to Jake Show, to my brother V-Man, to every single Jake as maniac on here. So I just want to say Peanut Head this morning was calling, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. He's a big phony and a big fake and real big whiny little punk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got his
Okay.
ass.
Wow,
Boy Green,
wow.
your thoughts on the war between
That's
B-Mac
it.
and Allen?
Thank you, B-Mac. I unfortunately I'm not seeing enough, so I gotta make sure I carve out the necessary time to be watching these shows. But I feel like Aaron, the comment that I don't know what you guys were all referencing because I know you referenced my show today, B-Mac. So the comment I pulled up was Aaron saying it's ridiculous or whatever word he used to describe him having to prove himself through the final 5 games. To me, he does have something to prove. And his past history doesn't mean anything. Like, it meant something enough for the Jets to trade for him, 4-time NFL MVP, Super Bowl champ, and all that. But through the final 5 games, if he shows nothing, then the next regime, it's very easy to move on because he would stink through those final 5 games. If he looks awesome, I feel like he gives himself a chance to be in that conversation to be brought back. So while he says he doesn't have anything to prove, I would push back on that.
I do got a question for Jake, but I do want to say that I think he does have a lot to prove these next 5 games, but I don't have faith that he's also going to turn back the clock.
Me either.
If he couldn't do it this past week, what makes you think he's going to do it the next 5 weeks? But
Exactly.
I got a question for Jake. Jake,
Sure.
do you as what transpired this year and Rodgers and his bad play and what all comes with him and all that stuff? Do you have any reasons, any regrets trading for him in the first place? Because all these idiots are still saying Derek Carr this and Derek Carr that.
Well, those people are idiots. So no, the move to go after and then acquire Rodgers was correct. It obviously has not worked. I think a lot of it is because really no one's fault. You can't blame the Jets for Rodgers getting hurt 4 plays in last year. That ruined the entire timeline of this, and it was a Hail Mary. They completed it, getting him here, and it all stems from missing on Zach Wilson. And Rodgers was the best option at the time. So no, it didn't work. But that's why if the Jets are smart, they cut their losses and don't allow this to be another mistake a year from now, right? Like, move on. You've seen it's not working. You got a new regime coming in. Get ahead of the dead cap situation, and you go from there.
I totally agree. Thank you guys.
Now, B-Mac, before you go, I have a question for you. Can you untangle your headphones?
That's going to take me a while because it's very tangled up. But
We got time.
hold on.
It's fine.
What
We
the
got
hell
time.
am I doing? What the hell? Oh, I got it right here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
you
put a
got it.
clock
I
on.
think I can-
Let's get the clock on.
Yeah, it's going to take me about probably to midnight, to be honest with you, to do it.
Wow.
I'm
a lot-
going to be
a lot of
asleep by then. But
Well, don't worry,
I don't know. I got to give me some new ones and, maybe after I leave, maybe,
Here we
I'm
go.
listening to you.
Let's go, B-Mac. I'm
The
playing
timer
music.
started.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You got this,
Yeah, I
B-Mac.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. I have to take the headphones off to do it. But,
Sure, go ahead. You got it.
But again, y'all can't hear me when I talk. So
Oh, we
That's
hear
right.
you.
We hear you loud and clear. You got this.
yeah.
Oh boy,
This is
that's
electric.
gonna take a while. How did he get those knots at the top? There's not even that much room on the cord. How did he get those? Red wire, blue wire. Yeah, you're going, B-Mac. There you go.
You like my dance pop music?
I like that. That's a good touch. I feel like I'm in a nightclub.
I'll switch it up. We'll give the old timers a little rock. Here we go.
Oh yeah, nice.
Is that good enough? I know it's still.
No, look,
Keep
there's
going,
still
keep
more.
going.
There's still more. Go, more, B-Mac. Come on, man. Oh, that's nice. I feel like a 1990s sitcom. We're about to transition to a new scene.
Can you tell the Jets are 3-9? All right, I don't know what this song is, but it's called "Feeding the Ducks."
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, sensual. Feels like a little R&B, like some sweet, passionate lovemaking music right here.
Oh, hey now.
Get the mood right. Calm your freaky down. All right.
King Lowski in the house.
Here we go. He's getting close.
B-Mac might crack the top 10 this month. It's early, but this is a good performance here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wow. I've never seen B-Mac so focused on that. What the hell?
Whoa. We have a
Was that the
blackout.
mood? Did he just hit a button on his desk?
I just
What
broke
did
my headphone, but at least I got it.
He broke
you
the
broke
headphones.
it? Oh, geez.
Yeah, I broke it on accident, but hey, I still got it.
Yeah,
You know what?
that's true.
This media
B-Mac.
thing.
Wow. Bravo.
Wow. Yeah.
He broke his headphones.
Hey, Peanut Head. That's what you call skill. That's what you call skill, Peanut Head. That's actual talent. All right, Peanut Head, learn something from me today. I learned how to untangle headphones in like 6 seconds. All right, Peanut Head. That's an all-time record.
B-Mac. Hey, you hater guy. Allen sucks and JJ can kiss my ass before I wipe.
Now that was quite the performance.
I'm not sure. B-Mac said he did that in like 6 seconds. I'm not sure if it was 6, but appreciate the dedication, though.
Love it. Oscar the Grouch with a super chat. Boy Green's my favorite. Thanks for the show, Jake.
Hey, thank you.
Oscar, thank you for watching, my man. All right, let's get to more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, he's tried calling in twice. Unfortunately, the internet has not been able to make it happen for him. We'll find out if the third time is the charm. We say hello to Ray, who's next. Hey, Ray.
Hey, guys. I didn't know it was twice. I knew the first time. There is one bad area on the Long Island Expressway, and exactly when you told me to come on, I hit that area. So I must have been in for a little.
We sound much better now. It's great to hear from you, Ray.
What's up,
Hey,
Ray?
Boy Green, I think that I only called in like twice to the show, and you were on both times. So I'm happy you're on for this call, too, because I have a couple of points that probably are very unpopular, but I'm going to make them anyway.
Okay.
Diehard Jet fan, and that way for 40 years. First of all, let me ask you guys, just before I go on to my points, who do you say right now is the best quarterback in the NFL?
Right now? I mean, I still would take Mahomes. If I have one game to win, I want him as my quarterback.
And do you know this stat, courtesy of Mike Francesa, which I didn't know this today, that if you look up Rodgers' stats and Mahomes' stats, they're almost identical this year.
They are,
in
but
all
if
the
you
categories except for the win-loss.
Right.
And completion percentage. Mahomes is completing like 67% of his passes. Rodgers is 62%, which is, he hasn't been that low in 5 years. So that one's pretty low. And then yards. Mahomes is like 600 more yards. But overall, though, they are pretty similar. I would say Joe Burrow, though, on the best quarterback of football right now, I'd say Burrow. Man, he's having an MVP year on a shitty team.
I just thought that stat was fascinating because I am a huge Rodgers fan. I think it's a huge mistake if they get rid of him. But here's my other point, which it's probably going to be laughed at, but I don't care because I looked this stuff up. This is what I think the next head coach of the New York Jets are going to be. It's going to be Bill Belichick, and here's the reason why. First, Woody needs to make a splash, right? He doesn't like to be unpopular with the fans, which he is right now. And the only splash besides Vrabel, who's a very good choice for head coach, is Belichick. Second is Rodgers. Belichick was publicly just said Rodgers is still a good quarterback. He thinks he's going to be good next year. And putting that out there made me think. The window of the Jets is my next point, is very narrow right now. They have Hall, they have Sauce, they have Wilson. Those guys, there's not going to be too many more years left. You could say they're franchise players, and they need to win now. And to me, the biggest issue with the Jets this year is the coaching and the teaching. The defense needs somebody to teach them. They need attention to detail. What better coach than that? The other point is
Right.
Come on.
I'm just going to stop you. All right. I appreciate it. Couple things. Belichick would, one, never take the job. He has bashed Woody time and time again, and is now doing it publicly during all his media appearances. Two, Bill Belichick's winning percentage when he doesn't have the greatest quarterback of all time is lower than Rex Ryan's winning percentage in his career. No, thank you. He's 73. No, thanks. His coaching staff hires would suck. You want Matt Patricia as your DC? That's what you're getting. You want Josh McDaniels as your OC? That's what you're getting, and you're not even getting Tom Brady to play quarterback for you. So no on Belichick. I rather Rex than Belichick. And two, I see your point on Rodgers' stats versus Mahomes, but that's just the touchdowns versus interceptions. Watch the games, man. Watch the games. Rodgers was terrible last Sunday. All right, he hasn't thrown for more than 200 yards in a game the last 3 straight times. It's not just about touchdowns and interceptions. It's what do you do with the ball in your hands late in the game? It's some of the decisions he's made. It's the lack of mobility. Like, you could tell me he's thrown for more touchdowns than Mahomes, but there's no one on the planet who will take you seriously if you try to argue that Rodgers is, playing anywhere near the level Mahomes is playing at, even if the stats don't show it.
And Mahomes, if we're being honest, is having a shitty year. So, comparing Rodgers to Mahomes' shitty year, I don't think is good. Again, compare him to some of the top quarterbacks in football of Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and all these guys are lighting it up. Aaron Rodgers isn't in the same stratosphere. So, Rodgers, for Ray, and I appreciate third time was the charm for him. Here's a stat. Aaron Rodgers' yards per attempt right now, passing yards per attempt, is the lowest it's been in his 20-year career. He's not taking shots down the field. He's old. He's banged up. It's not looking good. He didn't look good coming out of the bye, which likely indicates he's not going to look good through these final 5 games. What suddenly is going to hit him one morning that hasn't hit him in the other games is something I don't understand. So, again, comparing him to Mahomes and some of these very obtusely specific stats, I don't think it tells the whole story, especially since Mahomes, like I said, is having a shitty year.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in. That was quite the call from Ray. I'm glad we heard it. I did like that he came prepared with the notepad on the Long Island Expressway.
That. Very nice.
You got to respect that. But Ray, come back to us, my man. Purple Belt Mike with a super chat. Oh. That was the beat Jake listens to during sexy time. I'll tell you what I listen to during sexy time.
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. You tried to throw him away, but this man's coming back. Sometimes he's fat or thin. That waistband makes him slim. He's got the fix you need. They call him sexy. Rexy.
Fuck Gruden, he's no Jet. I'm here to crack some skulls. I'll turn these boys to men. This team is stacked with pros. Hire me, you won't break your purse. I'm here to break the curse. They call me sexy. Rexy. Fuck all you naysayers.
Ooh, sexy. Ooh, he's sexy. Rexy. Sexy. Ooh, he's sexy. Rexy. Sexy. Ooh, he's sexy. Rexy. Sexy. Ooh, he's sexy. Rexy.
That's what I listen to. Purple
wow.
Mike. Come on now. During sexy time.
You must have great sexy time going on there, Jake. That is that's got to be a popular beat in there.
I listen to Sexy Rexy. Let's say hello to Barbarossa with his standard Friday afternoon call. What's up, Barbarossa?
What's going on, guys? Happy Friday, y'all. Cheers. So I just wanted to share my take on the head coach situation. First thing, start with some Jet stuff first, but I definitely liked Mike Vrabel. I think he just seems like the kind of the tough guy that we need. And I know you've said this, Jake. You know, other callers have said it. There's a lot of like maybe cuter names out there, but I think the Jets really need a culture change, no nonsense kind of guy. And like I can just think back to like when in high school when I was on the wrestling team, like we were an okay team, and then we had a guy's older brother who just finished college wrestling came in, and like we kicked ass the next year, and it was mainly because like of the discipline thing. And I just think like the team is undisciplined in general, and you know maybe somebody like him. Clearly more than Jeff Ulbrich, but even more than Robert Saleh will really be able to focus the guys at the beginning of games and on big downs, because that's where we're really screwing up. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, because Saleh has been trying to be their friends the entire time. He has openly said, I'm never going to ridicule or make fun of a player at the podium or on the sideline. And Vrabel, if you look at some of his history, if you've seen it, he has no problem ripping someone who fucked up, which, by the way, same sort of thing for your discipline thing. I grew up in a military family. When I made mistakes, the whip was cracked, and it made me go, shit, that hurt. Don't want to do that again. You put your hand on the pot, it hurts. Wow, ouch. Okay, don't want to do that again. The way that Saleh and Ulbrich tried to kind of fester this friendly Teletubby land, it just sucks. So, yeah, cracking the whip could help out with the penalties and then some of the discipline issues at a minimum.
Hey, Boy Green, is it true that if the Jets hire Mike Vrabel, this is what it's going to look like inside the Jet locker room?
Yeah, Vrabel already invited me in to do a seminar with the team, which is something I have already accepted. Yes.
I love it. Barbarossa, the beard looks great at least. The Jets might stink, but your beard is tremendous.
Thanks, man. I got one more thing to say though, just for that. So I just wanted, especially to you guys, dads. I did a thing over the Thanksgiving break. I got married to Lady Barbarossa.
Hey,
so, yeah, thanks, guys.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Yeah. And just the last thing, we need a Jake Asman fight club. I think this comment section, we need a way to actually get our energy out. I will gladly referee any amounts of Jake Asman fight club fights that we need. But the Tuesday show, I think it was in the morning, was absolutely hilarious. I absolutely loved it.
I love it.
But it was great. But cheers to all the Asmaniacs. Take care,
ladies and gentlemen. The great Barbarossa, a married man.
Yeah. Wow, good for our son.
It was crazy on. I think it might have been Tuesday. I mean, just people were going at each other's throats. I mean, it was wild.
Wow. Okay, I love the passion. Gotta love the passion.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Boy Green's channel if you haven't done so already. Like the video on his channel; it helps his channel continue to grow. Let's keep going. We got plenty of people who want in on the conversation, so let's get to more of your calls right now. And joining us on the Gusbuster Hotline is a man who will assemble SEAL Team IQ 75. SEAL Team 75, assemble.
The Clapping Seals, they're alive and well in the chat.
Hello, Gary.
Howdy, y'all. How are y'all?
My guy, Gary.
How y'all doing?
Excellent.
Sorry I haven't called into your show lately, Paul. I just after the Steelers game, I've had to emotionally detach from this team.
I understand.
It's an abusive relationship I needed to take a break from.
That's okay. I appreciate it.
How about my Longhorns? Are they going to win this week? Are they going to win tomorrow?
100%. They're winning the SEC championship game, baby, and moving up.
I hope so. I don't see it. I think they're going to lose because Quinn can't play a clean game. So they're not going to beat Georgia if they can't play a clean game.
Yeah.
Jake, that's actually the same song I listen to Sexy Time too.
Sexy Rexy?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It works every time.
Yeah, I mean,
get to your spot. Nothing but net. Bottom of the barrel every time.
There you go.
Count it.
And one.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
I have 3 kids, so I've had sex at
Wow.
least 3 times. Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Totally lost.
So the seals
Okay.
aren't the only thing that are clapping, is what you're saying.
Right. Bottom of the barrel. Count it.
Calm your freaky down.
Mamba time every time. I wanted to talk Arthur Smith. Where can we? This is like Rex Ryan. Let's not even speak this into existence. Why is that name even on anyone's radar?
You cannot tell me that it's even remotely the same thing. Arthur Smith has no business being the Jet head coach. Rex, at least, there's a legitimate argument.
It's the same thing with Belichick. Like, you want to bring in Marv Levy? We can have the first ever 100-year-old coach. Like, can we stop? Like, let's find a name of a guy who's under the age of 65. Is that fair? Like, why are we going? I love Rex. I said he can beat DC if he wants. He can't be head coach. That's a young man's game. And by young, I mean under 65. Like, there's good options. How old is Munkin? He's under 65.
58.
Right?
He's 58.
Okay.
Rex is 62.
Is that all he is? So he was young when we hired him then, huh?
Exactly. And Rex's energy level, like Pete
Carroll's older. He's 73, I think. So
Yeah.
he's an older guy.
Rex is still 61. He will turn 62 on December 13th. So next week.
I had him pinned for a lot older than that. Okay. I still don't want him. He could be DC. I like Rex. We all like Rex. I play his theme song during sexy time. Count it.
He will never be the DC of the Jets.
I thought he was a Jet. He wants to be a Jet. He's a Jet.
Okay, he's also the most successful head coach you could make a case they've had since Weeb Eubank. He's not taking a DC job.
Okay, then he doesn't want to be a Jet then. That's fine.
He doesn't want to be the DC of a team that he already was the head coach for, and they haven't had success since he left. Why would he
Don't
be a
make
DC?
it sound like I said Waterboy. He has a losing record with the Jets. I said DC. That is a prestigious position. It's an important position. If he wants to be a Jet, I agree with you. He's not going to take it, but that just tells me he wants to be an HC, not an NYJ. That's
Right,
what that tells me.
because he doesn't need the Jet job. That's the point. He doesn't need the Jet job. He has a lucrative job on TV. He also made a ton of money as an NFL head coach for 2 franchises. Rex doesn't need the job. He wants the Jet job, but I think he's okay if he stays on TV. If he doesn't get the Jet head coaching job, he's not going to take the Jet DC job.
Then stay put. Then all's well that ends well. You're happy with what you have.
He's not even in my top 4 or probably top 5. But I'm just saying, Arthur Smith. You can't even compare the two as candidates. I'd rather Rex before Arthur Smith any day of the week.
I want Vrabel. I want Flores. Those are like the 2 guys. Gruden, I think is it. But the other name, and he's not an HC, but Munkin. If we brought him in,
you mean Monkey, to quote Peter Castro.
The monkey guy, yeah. Can we also? Would he bring in Winston too? Could we do that? Because now we've got.
Oh wow.
something.
I didn't even think about that, the connection, obviously, because he's coached Winston before. But again, that would be a fun one. While we don't, again, because there's a chance that the Jets have a number 1 or number 2 pick, and then maybe it's a rookie conversation. But a greater chance probably that they don't have a top 2 pick, so they won't, or a top 3 pick or whatever, so they won't have a chance at a quarterback. If you have to get an alternative option at the quarterback position, you could do a lot worse than Jameis Winston. At least he's going to give a ton of targets to Garrett. He's going to take shots down the field to give him opportunities. And then, again, to pair Munkin, my brain hadn't made that connection yet, but yeah, totally. Let's do it. That would be fun, and we'd be putting up points.
And we could win a Super Bowl, Jake, with Munkin and Jameis Winston. Do you want to win a Super Bowl, Jake? Is that something you'd be interested in?
Gary, if you guaranteed me a Super Bowl, you could be the quarterback for all I care. I don't care who the quarterback is if you're telling me they're going to win the Super Bowl. So yeah, if Jameis leads the Jets to a Super Bowl, sign me up, baby. I'm in.
And he'll get, and they'll sell at least one more jersey, and that's me.
That's right.
There you go. Eat the W.
Munkin and Winston. I wanted a head coach, a former head coach, but I can live with Munkin and Winston. That's.
I have breaking news from Castro. He says I am off Monkey.
Wow, that's too bad.
I'm also like Flores, who he wants. Is he off Flores too? I'm assuming he's saying he's off the Monkey because I've mentioned it. So I'm also mentioning Flores. Is he moving off of Flores too?
He loves Flores. That's his number 1 guy.
I think it's a good fit. Flores and Vrabel, either way, 1 and 2. You can toss them up. Either one, I'm good. I'm good with.
Wow, Peter
Who's
Castro,
your number 1?
Vrabel / Winston. That's what he wants.
Okay, yeah, that's a good scenario for me.
What about Brian Flonase? How do you feel about him?
Brian Flonase. That is Brian Flores' second cousin twice removed. He's pretty good. I would take him.
Okay. Any other thoughts, Gary?
No, I think we're good. Is Texas going to win, Jake? I know Paul said yeah. What do you say?
Yeah, man, I'll give you one of these. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.
All right. And we just got another 5-star, Justice Terry. That's 5 stars we've got. This. I'm not going to do the clapping seal part.
What do you mean?
I do want to, but I'm not going to do it because Gator's going to use it out of context, and then it's going to go viral, and then I'm going to have to look at it forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary. Bo with a super chat. I have a trivia question for Boy Green. How did the NYJ acquire their name, and what is your top OC with a Vrabel acquisition?
Okay. So trivia time. So I know that the Jets were originally the New York Titans from 1960 to 1962, and we had the Jet connection, green and white, Leon Hess action. I'm not exactly sure, Jake. I don't know if I could phone a friend option for how they got the Jet version of their nickname. I don't know how they got off. I just know a lot of the history, but not of why they went from Titans to Jets outside of location change and stuff like that. I don't know how they got the mascot change. Do you know that, Jake?
I don't know. I think it has something to do with the proximity to the airport because they played at Shea.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think the chat's confirming that. So that is indeed the
answer. Jets flew over Shea. Okay, cool. No, that's good to know.
They played near LaGuardia. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That makes plenty of sense. So I thought the location change had something to do with it too. And then the top OC with the Vrabel acquisition. That's a good one. Again, Jake, you're the one that had the stat that made me feel really good about it, about his ability to identify guys like LaFleur and Smith who ended up becoming head coaches, which is really good. I'm trying to think of who. God, I hope it's not Todd Downing. I'll have to look deeper to see what other connections Vrabel has because I don't want him to go the New England route. So no thanks to the Josh McDaniels of the world. I don't want Patriot Way at One Jets Drive. No, thank you. And we can play this game of randomly inserting him with other guys we like not Rex Ryan, but whoever. Insert guy coaching defense like Madden style of really guys who are talented enough, but I don't know connections wise who Vrabel knows offensively outside of just old Titans people. So I'll have to do a deeper dive to give you a better answer on that, Bo.
I'll give you a name.
Okay.
Brian Dable. They worked together.
Oh, there you go.
That'd be a great name. No, they didn't work together. I don't think Dable was with the Patriots when Vrabel was a player there, but they probably know each other. Dable to me, that'd be a guy I'd hire.
And that's a fun name. He used to coach around the Jets. He gets ticket to the Giants, get a job if he ends up getting canned. I don't think he's going to get another head coaching gig that quickly. So yeah, that'd be a great name, OC. Good call there, Jake.
Jerry writes in, how do you guys feel about Greg Roman as a head coach? Not my pick, but just asking. He's an offensive guy, but more of an old school. I don't know. You never hear his name mentioned for head coaching openings.
I have not, and just because we've all been ageist here on the show, let me check on Greg
52.
Roman.
52. From Atlantic City, New Jersey, so he's from the East Coast.
All right, so there's some Jersey action there. Let's check the ring here. So he's only ever been an associate head coach a couple of times at a couple of different stops. He's got all the Harbaugh connections with both brothers. Again, he's got an impressive resume, not named head coach, and he's an offensive guy. That part makes you feel better. A former assistant coach of the year. Yeah, I've never heard of him before. We all know who he is, but I've never heard him in head coaching conversations before. I wonder why that is. Maybe he just doesn't ever want to be a head coach. But again, I'm all for exploring every rock, and again, my lean would be offense.
I think I agree with you. Look, if they interviewed him, I wouldn't be upset. I don't know if he'd get the job, but I wouldn't be upset.
Sure.
J-Quest says, this is crazy. It's the Friday before a December game, and we have 200 people watching Jake. An effing travesty. I told you, man, the viewership dips. There's 198 people in here right now.
Wow.
At least on my channel. It's sad. It's sad what's happened to this franchise, man. I mean, if we go back to September, same time, Boy Green on, we'd have 600 or 700 people here watching live. So that's why I always shout out the people who still watch the show. You truly are a diehard Jet fan if you're still locked in watching this every day. More of your calls right now. Philly Noodles is next. What's up, Philly?
Hey, what's up, gentlemen?
Hey, Philly again, baby. All right, I'm getting Philly Noodles for 2 meals a day, baby.
And I was on Jake earlier. I just want to express it's really not, it's turning into hate for Rodgers, and I hate to say it, but it's like everyone's like you got to have horse blinders on if you think it's okay to bring that back and everything's like, oh, last 5 games and see what happens. I mean, first off, last 5 games, if you got to please IR stint the mains so that they don't get hurt for next year. So give me Braylon Allen and Davis and go ahead and give me stickers out there. And you know what I mean? Do what you got to do. Other than that, I have stats. So like you guys are breaking down with Aaron Rodgers, people who are saying, all right, bring him back. Let's see what happens. If we just look at the pressure for advanced passing on Pro Football Reference, if you just go down the list with all the teams, including the Jets, if you go by scramble, so like whoever called in earlier talking about Patrick Mahomes, right? Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs had 29 scrambles compared to our 11. So you wonder where the wins come from. It's when he extends plays because that's what he does. Just like Brett Favre did and taught Aaron to do, which Aaron did but can't do no more. I don't understand. The evidence is there. I mean, I could pull out 4 sheets here and just read it off. You know, and I think everyone needs to get that into their heads as fans. It's okay. It failed. It's okay. We got next year. We'll move forward, whatever they want to do. But Aaron can't come back after a year from the Achilles and da-da-da-da-da. What offense is he going to run? Like, what are we talking about? Like, people, calm down. Let Tyrod do his thing for a little bit. It's okay. Draft a rookie. Go get Justin Fields if he's available too. And start running RPOs for real. Because if you look at our RPOs, that's another thing we don't do. We don't run the ball enough heavy in the RPO. You're not fooling anybody. When you do an RPO with Aaron, he's not running. He's throwing. So guess where he's throwing? To the line of scrimmage. Because he's not pushing the ball downfield on top of it.
Philly Noodles, I interrupt your point here. I agree. They need a more mobile quarterback. Fields on a 1-year deal, competing with Tyrod maybe, like what the Steelers did with Russell Wilson and Fields. All right. But a very important comment here. Philly Noodles is calling to be number 1. If he streaks right now, he has my vote for number 1. Philly Noodles, you trying to get in the top 1 of the Asmaniac rankings for December?
No, but I mean, I'm at the point I might drink the dad loading.
Okay.
Down, like it's getting the AR takes are killing me. I people can't read, can't watch, can't see. I don't know what's going on. It's tough.
I mean, I would say 3 weeks ago I was in the camp of bring Rodgers back and draft someone behind him. He has not played well for 3 straight games. He's under 200 passing yards. Like, I don't want to hear that, oh, well, they put up 27 points against the Colts. Like, a lot of that was yak. It was a great play by Devontae. It was Brees going off that game. The Cardinal game was a joke. The game last Sunday, he was good on the opening drive and the short field drive, and then they did nothing the rest of the game. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and crush Zach Wilson the way I did and then look past it with Rodgers. That's being a hypocrite. So he is not playing.
One more, just really quick, one more. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second. I just want to go over this one last thing, too. Let's talk about accuracy. You come into the Jets. If on target percentages, he's 74.9%. That is literally the bottom 5 in the NFL right now on target percentage for throwing the football. He just doesn't have it. It's not there because he can't scramble and get the effective throw done. And he's throwing bad balls, and they're even dropping. So it's just a big mess, and it's okay. Move forward. We're blowing it up anyway. Vive la Renaissance. Burn the Dolphins. And keep it moving.
Philly, thanks for the time. Yeah, I mean, he would have to play great these last 5 weeks, Boy Green, to even entertain the conversation.
Again, people could try to point out whatever numbers you want. You just said them. 3 straight games of under, let's get even more specific, 186 passing yards or fewer in 3 straight games. That's pathetic, man. And he's throwing it a ton.
And he has weapons. It's not like it's Sam Darnold in 2020 throwing the nobody. We're talking about legit stars on this team. Garrett Wilson's a star. Devontae is still a very good player. Brees, I know he's hurt now, but he is one of the better two-way backs as a receiver and rusher in the league. And this team can't score points. What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's just too many excuses. Again, if he can't do it now, you're telling me, oh, Paul, but he has a full offseason, comes back, he'll be even better. Again, it's just hard for me to rationalize that.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's moron of the day is Frank, who says Sauce is such a quitter. I trade him now. He's doubtful for Sunday's game. He's hurt, bro. He's hurt. Then Frank says Sauce is Kyle Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank, your day is over. Farewell.
All of you delusional Jets fans need to know that I am the king of stupid town.
Go hang out with Peanut Head. We'll see you later, Frank. God, what an idiot.
Come on.
What a
And by the
loser.
way, Sauce is coming off his best game of the year. He
I know.
looked amazing the prior week. And by the way, another shout out, those Jake Asman raffle tickets, baby. Come on now. Let's get into it.
Let's go. Backwards aren't cool. He says, hire Dion. He'd be better than Sauce. I mean,
come on, Jake. Did you want that? Dion and Shador. Let's bring it up to New York. Wouldn't that be sexy?
I would take Shador if they're in range to get him. I don't think Dion's leaving Colorado yet, though.
But Coach's son, I think that might be tempting for old Dion.
You imagine Coach Prime?
Oh my God! I mean, the press conferences would be awesome. The Shador thing would be cool. He's a talented kid. I mean, wow! And if Dion got hired by the Jacksonville Jaguars, it'd be this massive story. Imagine it in New York. Whew,
That's why it's not going to happen.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, probably not. Right.
All right, let's say hello to the big fella. And then we have a couple. We have the big fella, Kyle Clifton, and PBM all up next. What's up, big fella?
Listen, man. The Kyle Wilson comparison to Sauce Gardner. The reason why I don't like Sauce as much as everybody else is because he's not physical and he doesn't make interceptions. Okay. He is definitely not Kyle Wilson, for God's sake. Also, I don't know where these takes are coming from. I mean, you got a guy comparing Mahomes to Rodgers. Really? Stats don't. I guess stats don't matter either then, right? I mean, stats don't tell the whole story.
Watch the games, man. Just watch the games. You can't tell me Aaron Rodgers is playing well at now age 41 and he's going to be better during his age. This is his age 40 season. Next year, another year older. He'll be 41 for most of it. It's not going to get better. And he's barely making it through these games. I think if the Jets were a serious organization, they would have sat him down a while ago. Played Tyrod until Aaron got healthy again, but they didn't because Aaron Rodgers was calling all the shots.
Yeah, I mean, and Belichick has no shot in hell. We have no shot in hell of those two ships ever coming together, man. No way. Now, Jake, you're saying like there's only 200 people in here and stuff. Jameis Winston would solve that problem for you because you would have the bipolarity of Jet fans. You would have the ones who hate him for, throwing interceptions and stuff like that. And then you'd have the others that are like, you would have 400 people in here right now, man, or more.
I don't know.
Because of him.
They were 3-9 with Jameis, though. I'm telling you, I've been doing this show now. This is my 4th season doing it. You see it. The only exception was 2022 because they were in it till the last 2 games, right? They were in it when Mike White came back against the Seahawks, and then they lost that one. They were eliminated.
But he is such a polarizing figure. We think Rodgers is a polarizing figure. It's just because of politics and stuff like that. He's a polarizing figure because of football. Totally different thing. I mean, if I were you, I'd be hoping we get Jameis Winston.
I don't mind Jameis on a 1-year deal if you're telling me they're drafting someone that's developing behind them. And then those saying, well, what about Tyrod? You could easily trade Tyrod to a contending team. My issue with Tyrod being the unquestioned starter is he's going to get hurt. And I don't want this rookie to have to play. I rather get younger at the position. Jameis is only 30. Tyrod Taylor is going to be 36. I'd rather bring in someone who's younger, who's more durable.
Right. No, I agree with that. Now, here's a hot take from me. Right? Ben Johnson will be the Zach Wilson of coaches. When he comes in.
Now, that's a hot take.
That's a hot take. You know why? What did we say about Zach Wilson when he was playing football for us? Oh, he needs everything to be perfect to be successful. Well, guess who else needs to be for everything to be perfect for him to be a good head coach? That would be Ben Johnson.
The one thing I will say, though, big fella, and look, I as long as Ben Johnson is not the Jets head coach, I hope he stinks. I hope he's terrible. I want to make that very clear. Unless he's the Jet coach, then I hope he's the next Sean McVay. The one thing I will say, though, is Goff is playing at a level right now that he never played at with McVay. You got to give Ben Johnson a lot of credit for Goff's development the last couple of years.
Goff also has the best offensive line in the league too.
He does. That's part of it. But Goff is playing like you watch the games, you're seeing a really good quarterback.
Well, to me, I think he's always been a good quarterback. I think he's
always been solid. Yeah, he's never been brutal.
Right. And
he went to a Super Bowl. You can't do that even if Sean McVay's your coach.
Those 2 running backs help him out a lot. And look at the receivers he has. I mean, they're stacked. They're totally stacked, that team. My picks, I like Monken. I think it'll be good. I like Flonase. I like
Flonase.
Flonase. I think Flonase will be. I think Flonase will be a hell of a coach for us. Holding people accountable and stuff. And I like Aaron Glenn. Actually, I'm off the Gruden train. You guys convinced me. He may have.
It's
he may,
Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
he may be too much hype and stuff like that. I don't know, but and Vrabel, we'll see.
What about Slow Dick?
Slow Dick. Yeah, I guess. But that's those are my picks on the thing. But Ben Johnson will be the Zach Wilson of this coaching carousel.
Ladies and gentlemen, the big fella.
We got to get rid of Yul Brick and then go after Gabriel first. Then I want Queensberry. Got to look at the monkey guy. I like Flonase. And maybe Slow Dick in Houston is the answer.
Flonase, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton's next. Hey, Kyle.
So, Frank, everyone knows Kyle Wilson was a slot corner. Come on. It's apples and oranges, man.
He could have said D. Milner. That would have
Yeah,
worked.
there you go.
Yeah, it's crazy. The more I think about this coaching class, the more I hate it. I found myself, and I thought maybe that the Earth was breaking out of its orbit and crashing into the sun, agreeing with Gary. I like Vrabel and I like Monken, and then after that, man, it kind of gets a little bit shaky real quick. Some of these older guys, Pete Carroll at that age, Rex. The problem with Rex when he was here is he was totally risk averse on the offensive side of the ball. He insisted on running all the time, and that's not a modern offense. I don't know that he could really fit into today's game. I kind of like the GM candidates a little bit better. I've talked about Gain and Weidel in Pittsburgh. And maybe they have other guys in mind that we haven't even touched on yet. But of those older guys, and I get what you're saying, Jake, that Belichick's never won anything. But if he were to indicate interest, you'd have to at least talk to him because
fine, interview him and then don't give him the job.
You have to talk to him. You know why?
Well, I'll tell you what. If Tannenbaum's going to recommend candidates, he swears by Belichick, so he's definitely going to have him on the list. But I don't think Woody would ever hire Belichick.
No, I'm with you. I don't think that he wants the job. It might be a moot point to even talk about it. But if we're not going to have a quarterback and we're going to suck anyway, and that guy would be a tremendous equalizer because he does know football. That's
for sure. The defense would be good. My issue with Belichick is the record without Brady. He's also 73 years old. I don't see the point.
Yeah, but for that same reason though, then you have to exclude Pete Carroll.
Yeah, but Pete Carroll at least acts like he's in his 50s. I think it's different with him.
I
would hire a good. Look at the staff Pete Carroll hired. The amount of head coaches that came from it. I would trust Pete Carroll to hire a good staff. Belichick's staff, they're all failures when they leave him, aka they leave Brady.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Look at Pete Carroll's staff when they won the Super Bowl and count the amount of guys who eventually became head coaches on it. It's insane.
Well,
it's not quite
Saleh,
the 20. Right? Saleh's one of them, sure, but it's not quite the 2013 Redskins, but it's pretty close. There's a lot of coaches on there. Dan Quinn's another name from that one. There's a lot of guys.
All right, point taken. Thanks, guys.
Kyle, thank you. How do you feel about Pete Carroll, Boy Green? Would you be in?
Not to be an ageist, I think he's too old. Although people have floated this possibility out that he's the head coach for a year or two, and then he transitions into that football czar role. But my only question would that be, you would obviously have to have the forethought of having whoever the eventual replacement is to Pete Carroll at the beginning, so I'd have to know who that guy is. I like Pete Carroll a lot. He's an exciting guy, the former Jet, to come back and complete the story and do it a lot better this time around would be really interesting. I'd be interested in him in the football czar role. I don't think I'd want his old ass as the head coach.
Thank you to listener Glenn Krima, who just signed up for the Patreon. No one signed up for the Patreon in several days. And every time the Jets lose, Boy Green, people cancel as if I have anything to do with the Jets losing. It's very sad. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Make sure you join the Discord, Glenn. Appreciate your support. All Patreon users, 15% off every merch item at jakeasman.com. Super chat here from the big fella. He writes in, Belichick going to UNC to open his dating pool. Oh, baby. little frisky co-ed for Bill Belichick. Huh?
Calm your freaky down.
That's his age range. I like that. That's funny. That's a good
Ladies
one.
and gentlemen, perhaps our last call. Purple Belt Mike is up next. Hello, PBM.
What up? I feel like as the Jets keep sucking, the callers are just going to get worse. Belichick is never coming here. He hates the Jets. Woody's never going to hire him. He's never going to have an interview, regardless of what the 33rd team says. It's not going to happen. And he's not going to UNC because he wants to get the Don Shula record, which he will probably get with the Giants because he's probably going to go coach the Giants.
That'd be a pretty bad decision if he went to the Giants.
I think he's going to go there, though, because that's
Who's
like
his quarterback?
dream job. He'll get somebody.
Aaron Rodgers.
I think
Yeah,
he ends
okay.
up in Jacksonville. That's where I think
Jacksonville,
Belichick
that's,
goes.
yeah, another good one. Like,
It's a winnable division. You have a quarterback who's at least mediocre in place. Like, that's a better situation than the Giants when you're starting a rookie.
But he probably gets one of the jobs. Belichick probably gets one of them this year, I'd think.
yeah, I think so, too. And he coaches just to break the Don Shula record. And that's
It'll probably
about it.
take 2 or 3 years, though. What's it, 13 or 14 wins? He's not getting that in year 1, unlikely, or 2. So it's probably going to take a few years.
Yeah. That's what I think anyway. But we had some wild calls today, Jake. Pretty funny.
Yeah, it's been one of those days,
one of those
PBM.
days.
It's been one of those weeks, man. You know? BMAC untangling the headphones, though, with music blasting. That was the highlight of this show, I'd say.
It was funny that he broke it.
And then he
Poor
proceeded to
bastard.
call out Allen, saying he got it done in, what, like 6 seconds? And it was more
Yeah,
like
but it
7
took
minutes.
like, you're right. Yeah, peanut head.
I'm sensing a Robert C. call in the chat. Is this correct? Is Robert C. in the house? I will prolong the show if we get a Robert C. call.
But yeah, that's all I had to say. I just thought
Thanks,
it was funny.
PBM. Appreciate you, man.
Mike, God bless. Man. I'm seeing. Have you had a Robert C. call on your show, Paul?
Maybe a long time ago, but it's been a while. They're very rare and few in between. It's like a Sasquatch sighting.
If Robert C. calls in, I mean, it will be a complete game changer.
Yeah.
Let's see. I do have something I want to play before we go here. So
Okay.
the great Blitz BK has put together another track to get a set for the Jets and the Dolphins. This one is titled Fish Funeral.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today as we come together to celebrate the life of these Miami Dolphins. We come together in this time of great grief to make fun of their fans as they join us in misery. Today, we will hear from one of our own family members who will share some of his favorite memories and reflections of this garbage team. I learned the best fish is a dead fish. Fried or filleted, that's the best dish. I drink fish tears with my breakfast. 24 years, quick exits. All weapons, no D, no protection. Throw 'em off time, no sign of receptions. No sign of a line, only couple seconds. Got to a running, got 'em throwing interceptions. Treat 'em like a child, acting foul, teach 'em lessons. Standing by the pile, then plow, show aggression. Crowd going wild, yelling chants of affection. While the fish is on the floor, rethinking his profession. Carnal will, left that will up the middle, cue a chill. Snatch the chain from a chain, playoff win they never will. Pour sauce on the hill, watch the cheetah spill. Watching fish fry, that's my greatest thrill. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Everyone, thank you again for being here today. Your presence means more than words can express, and it's a reminder of the love and support that we will never show this franchise. Let us now come together to honor and celebrate the death of the Miami Dolphins.
Blitz BK, everybody.
Beautiful.
Unreal. The artwork was not by Blitz BK. I think Rick Kent asked that in the chat. I just Googled dead dolphin, and I'm like, this is perfect. That came up.
Well done. Yeah.
Tremendous. Big fella with, how about it, 5 channel memberships. So these are going towards the next crop of 100 for the Quinn and Williams jersey giveaway. Big fella, you're the man. So we'll update the list. We're going to do the giveaway on the air tomorrow with the Buffalo Jet fan, assuming my fishbowl and raffle tickets have arrived from Amazon Prime. Matt Munro, William Turowitz, Jay Saul, Masterful, and Dylan Massa, all receiving channel memberships. Ladies and gentlemen, we asked for this guy to call in. There's no one better to end the week than the great Robert C. What's up, Robert?
Hi, Jake. I don't expect this to work, though. How am I coming through?
Fantastic, Robert. I can't hear me in the background.
It's working a little better. I see it's lagging a little bit. I mean, here's the problem. I have an old Chromebook, and it goes to a blank page. It goes to so it just won't allow me to use StreamYard at all. And the phone, we have 100 megabits per second connection, but the phone has a bad processor. So no matter how good no matter how fast the connection is, it's not going to work too well.
I think this is working great.
Yeah. So how you doing, Jake?
Not as good as you, Robert.
I heard. From what I heard about Bobby, something about his shoulder, and they had 6 inches of snow yesterday.
Get back in here.
He couldn't go to the doctor. And hopefully he went today, but the way he fell on it, I'm not a doctor, but I suspect it could be his collarbone.
Interesting. Do you think he'll make a full recovery?
I hope so. We will see if he does a show tonight.
Tell Jake I said hello.
Yeah, Tammy said hello.
The great Tammy C.
Here you go, Tammy.
Hi. How are you?
Tammy, how are you?
All right. How you, Jake? How's everybody in the Jets field out there?
We're living the dream. Yeah, we've never been so optimistic and hopeful.
Yes, I know. I know the feeling. Robin got me in with the clan of everybody, and it's amazing how heartbroken everybody gets over this stuff when things don't go right.
Has Robert been singing to you?
Not lately. We both need to get back into singing.
I want to get a new recording in as far as the anthem goes, so I have all the lyrics in.
Whenever you're ready.
As far as the Jets. Okay. No, because I don't know all the lyrics. I'd rather have the lyrics in front of me. And I mean, I'll post one on YouTube, and I'll have all the lyrics ready because I can't think of them off the top of my head here.
You don't know the lyrics to the national anthem?
I know I missed the Ramparts we watched. But no, I don't. I don't. But with them in front of me, it'd be a lot better, though.
I'll tell you what, we got to make that happen.
I know. Most people know the words. Most people.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know as far as the Jets coaching situation, I don't know what to make of it. So.
What's so proudly
we got Tammy singing, yeah.
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Yeah. Tremendous. What a performance. Wow. Welcome to the top 10 for the month of December. We're calling it early. Robert C. and Tammy with that performance all time.
Wow. I love that. Robert's like, I don't know about the lyrics. And then Tammy just started singing. I'm like, whoa, let's get camera on Tammy. Beautiful.
That was beautiful. You couldn't see it, but my hand was on the heart. I was waving
I
my
felt
USA flag.
Yes.
I mean,
God
Incredible.
bless. Yeah.
All right. There's nothing we could add on to the show after something
No,
like that. I
definitely
do want to
not.
shout out Jorge, who says, well, why not? It's slow season for Jet fans. Jorge, thank you, sir. And Georgie with a super chat. Tammy C for life. Amen. Boy Green, thank you for hopping on as always. This was a lot of fun. It always is. And my God, did a lot happen despite the fact the Jets are 3-9.
That's for sure. God bless America. And guys, keep the memberships coming in for the raffle. Jake's got a lot of awesome prizes. That's amazing. So, guys, make sure you keep sending those in. And I'm looking forward to it. Fishbowl reveal with Buffalo Jet fan tomorrow. Should be a doozy.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's Boy Green. My name is Jake Asman. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the channels for both myself and Paul with your favorite Jet fans so more people tune in. Once again, I'm live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. Buffalo Jet fan joins us, so be on the lookout for that. He's Paul. I'm Jake. Have a great weekend, everybody. And, of course, go Jets.